Good morning, UUSS, both far and near. Join us this morning in singing Gathered Here as we invite the Spirit into this space.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here as one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Spirit draw near. Spirit draw
Good morning. Welcome to our Sunday service. I'm Roger Jones, happy to be one of the ministers here at UUSS. My co-ministry colleague, the Reverend Lucy Bunch, is the leader for today's service, the annual service when we remember beloved ones among us from our lives who have died. We are happy to have the contributions of our ministerial intern, 2 worship associates, and our musicians, including our UUSS choir. And we are glad that you are present with us, whether you are with us on Zoom or you're here in person. Our Soul Matters theme for this month is Cultivating Compassion, which we have addressed in worship services, Sunday religious education, Soul Matters groups, our Zoom session for parents called Soul at Home, and Theology on Tap as well. If you're with us online, you can find a copy of today's order of service on our website through a link in the chat on Zoom. First, a correction of the order for everybody. The choir's 2 selections will be in reverse order from what is printed. Hence, the first piece will be When We Are Gone, and that will be our music for centering. And during the music for centering, if you have a photo that you brought for the altar, you're welcome to bring that photo up during that time after the choir has come up. The blue sheet, our weekly calendar of activities, is also online as well as on blue paper. A few highlights from the blue sheet. Today's meet and greet of our People of Color Caucus will happen after the service. If you are a person of color or of mixed race, please feel welcome to participate. Also today is our monthly session called Exploring Unitarian Universalism, and I will be leading it on the topic of Unitarian Universalist history and theology, and it goes from 12 noon until 1 o'clock over there in the FOS room, and childcare will be available if you'd like to attend that session. In any case, after the service, please linger for coffee and refreshments and visit our connections table, our bookstore, as well as our table for UU the Vote as the next election day looms. And the Service Auction Committee invites you to visit their table as well so that you can buy a ticket for our big annual benefit, which we are calling Hats Off to Community. Hats Off to Community. Tickets are available only in advance, either at the table or online on the website. So stop by there to read the menu for this catered event, which takes place from 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, November 8th. That's 2 weeks from yesterday. And the team still welcomes your donations of wine, bottles of wine, during the week or next Sunday. And the last big news about the auction is that online bidding has already started. And you can visit the website anytime to behold the many events, dinners, outings, and services that are on auction. But please don't bid while you're in the service. Turn off your phones. Next weekend is the time when we set our clocks back by 1 hour on Saturday, fall back. And fortunately, if you wake up early, you can come here an hour early for the Labyrinth meditation walk out by the meadow at 9:30. And after service next week, it's another Soup Sunday lunch, and all are welcome. Next Sunday at 1:30, I will be leading a communion ritual in memory of Jesus of Nazareth. There will be music, prayer, and the sharing of bread and grape juice. And all are welcome. You don't have to identify as a Christian to participate in communion. And if you, and it will be here at 1:30. In the library. And if you're with us on Zoom today, we have 20 minutes in a breakout room after the service for you to get acquainted. And if you're watching on YouTube sometime in the future, well, we hope to meet you sometime soon. Today in our circle service, all ages are together for the whole service. We invite adults and their children to sit together in the service. Of course, sometimes people can feel restless after a while, after sitting for a while. So if you get restless, you're welcome to escort your family to the patio where you can hear the service, or to the welcome hall where you can watch the service. But we will be inviting children to participate in the collection of the offering in the service and participate in the ritual of remembrance. And also there will be a few times in the service when we create silence together, and I will let you know when that happens. As with any service, if you feel distracted in the seat where you are, please feel free to move to a different location around the sanctuary, or even to hover in the back someplace. This is one of the ways that we embody being a community of all ages and stages of life. Thank you for helping us do this. Our monthly newsletter will come out next Friday by email. To receive it, please fill out a newcomer's form either by a link to our website or at the welcome table afterwards. That will help us connect with you. Our mission statement as a congregation says, we come together to deepen our lives and be a force for healing in the world. And we invite you to explore the ways we live out this mission. Now for the chalice lighting.
Good morning. Our chalice lighter today is Venita. Our chalice lighting reading is by Florence Caplow. As we kindle this flame, we honor and remember those who have passed into the mystery. Their brightness lives on in our vision. Their courage lives on in our commitments, and their love continues to bless the world through us. Next, we light our candle of compassion and resistance. In this ritual, we recognize the times in which we live, times of disruption and anxiety in this country and the world. When cruelty is on display and so many are in danger, our values call us to compassion and resistance. As we kindle this flame, let its light inspire us to bear witness to human decency, dignity, freedom, and the power of love. Now let us join in our time of joys and sorrows together. Member Jan Kelly has a request for prayer. She shares, Bob Kosman, my husband and UU member from Massachusetts, has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Please pray for both of us and our families to help us through this journey. Our hearts and our prayers are with Jan and Bob and with those whose joys and sorrows remain unspoken today. I invite you to get comfortable in your seat, close your eyes or soften your gaze. On this day of remembering our beloved dead, let us receive these words from Thich Nhat Hanh, an excerpt from Oneness. The moment I die, I will try to come back to you as quickly as possible. I promise it will not take long. Isn't it true? I am already with you as I die each moment. I come back to you in every moment. Just look. Feel my presence. If you want to cry, please cry. And know that I will cry with you. The tears you shed will heal us both. Your tears are mine. The earth I tread this morning transcends history. Spring and winter are both present in the moment. The young leaf and the dead leaf are really one. My feet touch deathlessness, and my feet are yours. Walk with me now.
Invited to remain seated as we sing Be Still and Breathe. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to heartache, listen to grief. Be still and be. Be still and breathe. Listen to gladness, listen to joy. Be still and breathe. Be still and be. Listen to anger, listen to hurt. Be
at this waning time of the year when the world itself seems to be darkening with fear and despair. Our connection to our beloved dead is more important than ever. Memories can encourage us to stay strong and connected. The challenges they faced in their lives can be a source of inspiration for how we face our own difficulties. Thinking back over time helps us to take a longer view of the challenges of our world. And in the same way, the joys that they felt and shared in their lives can lighten our spirits and bring fond memories to sustain us. Today, we will celebrate and remember our beloved dead. We will hear reflections, sing, have a chance to celebrate those who have gone before us and offered us their gifts. A bit later in the service, we will have a guided meditation, which will give you an opportunity to visit with your beloved dead. The dead are not gone from us. They are here for us in our memories, in our hearts, in our DNA. They are a part of us. In these challenging times, I like to think of them as cheering us on, offering their strength, their power, and their endurance, offering us the power of their love. We draw from this power by remembering them and calling their names. And we will begin with a memorial roll call of all those who have died in our community this past year.
On an insert in the blue sheet inside your order of service is a list of names of people who have died in the past year, including members of this congregation, as well as members of our families and other loved ones. We will recite these names together in our annual memorial roll call. And as you say these names, whether or not you have known each person, you can be sure that each one's life is remembered by someone in our congregation. And if you have a loved one on this list, or more than one loved one, you can trust that everyone here is helping you to bear witness to their lives this morning. And by the sounds of our voices, we extend compassion and care to you. You're welcome to rise for the reading of the roll call at this time, whether in body or in spirit. And if it's not comfortable to stand, you're welcome to lift a hand for the reading of the names. And the names will appear on the screen. And after we complete the reading, we will be seated. And I will say each name first and then pause so that you may all recite the name in unison. Agnes Aggie Vaughter.
Agnes Aggie Vaughter.
John Peterson.
John Peterson.
Christopher C. Bradfield.
Christopher C. Bradfield.
Lori Jones.
Lori Jones.
Virginia Ginny Bjorgum.
Virginia Ginny Bjorgum.
Anne Marie Fleming.
Anne Marie Fleming.
Patricia Halliday.
Patricia Halliday.
Elizabeth Pataki.
Elizabeth Pataki.
Lee Maxey.
Lee Maxey.
Edith Isaacs.
Edith Isaacs.
Isabel Robertson.
Isabel Robertson.
Esther Franklin.
Esther Franklin.
Wilma Hash.
Wilma Hash.
Sandra Felix.
Sandra Felix.
Victor Scott Ross Moore.
Victor Scott Ross Moore.
Doris Simonis.
Doris Simonis.
Janet Tedesco.
Janet Tedesco.
Sharif Aga Khan.
Sharif
Susan Mackins Whitley. Sherry O'Boyle. Arlene Parker. Richard Chestek. Andy Mishkowitz. Thank you. You may be seated. Now let us take a moment of silence in order that the sounds of these names might echo in the space of our gathering and echo in the memory of our hearts. May their memories be a blessing. Amen.
It's now time to receive the offering. Children who would like to help are invited to join an usher in the back of the sanctuary. Generosity is a spiritual practice, which is why we have committed to giving away half of every Sunday's offering to an organization whose missions align with ours. This month, we are sharing our plate with the Planned Parenthood Marmonte, which delivers vital care to hundreds of thousands of people in Northern California and Nevada. A longstanding client writes, I got married at 18, and I am still married 47 years later. Early on, I used Planned Parenthood as my main source of female health care as I was in college, and we had no access to insurance. Planned Parenthood did more than provide birth control, although that part alone was valuable, as my spouse and I realized that we were too young to be parents. We put off having children for 10 years so that we could both finish college, get jobs, and buy a house. If we had had children before we were ready, none of that was likely to have happened. In those first few years, Planned Parenthood also provided blood pressure checks, which I needed, and routine health exams. I cannot express how grateful I am for the presence of Planned Parenthood. In addition to sex education, family planning, and health care, Planned Parenthood provides gender-affirming care and abortion services, including to people traveling from states where such care is no longer available. With deep thanks for your support, which matters now more than ever, this morning's offering will be given and received. As the ushers come forward, please join in our unison response. May generosity bless our world, and may gratitude nourish our spirits.
Who is your family historian? For the Lanes, it's my Aunt T. When I was 12, she produced a box full of correspondence from my great-grandmother, Eulalie. Aunt T was thrilled to share what she described as Eulalie's tale of woe with the family. Alas, I was young and easily distractible, so while T passed around letters and summarized their content, I was only paying half attention. But the name stuck with me, Eulalie. Poor Eulalie. What was she so sad about? I couldn't remember. Time passed. 20 years and a family of your own gives you a little thing called perspective. And suddenly the struggles of Eulalie somehow seemed much more relevant and urgent. So I phoned T, who was more than happy to share. Born in the late 1800s, Eulalie was a child of divorce. Eulalie's mother was a strong-minded businesswoman and kept them afloat by managing a boarding house in Detroit. Eulalie was worked to the bone and desperate for escape. Enter my great-grandfather, Joseph Byrne. Eulalie and Joseph married quickly and had 7 children. Life was not easy. Joseph was inconsistently employed and suffered a heat stroke during a baseball game. His physician suggested he move away from the big city for the sake of his health, so the family resettled in the farming community of Holly. Unfortunately, Joseph would soon die of a heart attack, shortly after the birth of Kathleen, my grandmother, and the youngest of 7. I had an ambient awareness that Eulalie's life was tragic, but I was unaware how much her life mirrored my life and that of my father's. 3 generations of my family have suffered the death of a parent at a young age. My mother passed away when I was 10 years old of cancer. My grandfather, John Lane, husband of youngest of 7, Kathleen, also died of cancer when my father was in college. And of course, there's great-grandpa Joseph's fate, taken too soon, leaving behind a grieving family. But 3 generations of hardship begat 3 generations of perseverance. Eulalie scrimped and saved so that her 2 sons could go to college. She echoes my father, who also ensured education was a central pillar of my upbringing. Education is Eulalie's legacy. 3 generations of hardship also revealed the power of a loving community. Following Joseph's passing, Eulalie and her children would often find baskets of food left at their doorstep by their neighbors. Similarly, before and long after my mother succumbed to her disease, our fridge was always full of home-cooked meals made by colleagues and family friends. The tale of Eulalie is one of tenacity, communal strength, and of love. I am fortified by these perennial themes. The story makes me proud and gives me determination during a time when I need it most. I am indebted to my Aunt T, our stalwart family historian, for carrying on this legacy. And if you have someone like T in your family, I encourage you to thank them for keeping that history alive.
Before the choir sings this piece, I'd like to read the text to it and ask that upon receiving the music, that we show our appreciation by allowing the music to settle in the room and refraining from applause. I hear you in the autumn wind and summer's crashing rain, your voice in someone else's words like memory's sweet refrain, echoes of morning bird song in the branches of the trees. I hear you in these moments, and I know you're here with me. I see you in the falling snow and blooming flowers in spring, your face in the radiant gleaming stars and moonbeams when I dream. Water on sand dunes splashing when the tide rolls out to sea. I can't say that I have lost you because I listen for you still. And while there's music in my life, I know I always will. Love never leaves. Never leave.
My grandmother was a Waldensian. It was a religious group that arose in the 12th century and was persecuted by the Catholic Church. In fact, the Catholic Church did everything they could to destroy the Waldensians for more than 400 years. They believed that every person should have a right to access to Scripture themselves. They believed that communities could come together to worship on their own terms, which were things that threatened the church at the time. And so the Waldensians moved all over Europe as their villages were destroyed and their people were killed. Finally, they were giving refuge in northern Italy, and this is where my grandmother was born. I can see the legacy of this history when I think of my grandmother, long past now. She never asked for much. She was often paranoid that people would hurt her if she stood out in any way. I see this in my mother as well, a legacy of fear of persecution passed on through the generations. Knowing this history has helped me to understand them better. During my sabbatical in 2019, I took a class in Christian history, and they talked about both the Waldensians and the Cathars, another sect from the 12th century. Both were persecuted by the Catholic Church. The instructor said the Cathars were eliminated. Actually, exterminated would be a better word to use. And I think the Waldensians were too, but I don't know. When question time came in the class, I stood up and said, I know that the Waldensians survived because my grandmother was a Waldensian, and that the religion was alive and well in Italy, as well as both North and South America. I said they were small, but they survived. They survived the worst of what can be done to a people. They survived. And I am here today because of that. When I think about the legacy of my people, I can focus on the paranoia and the fear that I saw in my grandmother. But I choose to see the courage that sustained my ancestors for centuries. In a minute, we will share together in a meditation where we will visit an ancestor. But I had that visit in preparation for this homily. In my mind's eye, I saw my ancestors gathered around me, and I asked how they had survived the terrible things that had happened to their community. We did the best we could with what we had, they said. We stayed true to our beliefs. We stayed true to our values. They told me that it was the strength of the community that sustained and encouraged them, even in the face of horrible things. They said that they trusted in God and trusted in the power of love. But most of all, they told me that they showed courage and determination to honor all those who had died, to honor the legacy of those who had died. And so it is for us, all of us. Our ancestors survived fire and flood, war, persecution, famine, fascism, and epidemics. They survived as much or more than what will likely be asked of us. And because they survived, we are here. We are here now in this time. May their courage live in us, and may we have the fortitude, like they did, to do what is asked of us in honor of their legacy and in honor of the ancestors yet to come. May it be so. So now let's take a little time for a guided meditation. It is our tradition on this day to take a journey where, if we choose, we can connect with our beloved dead. Now, this beloved dead that you may meet with doesn't have to be someone that you've known in your life. It doesn't have to be an ancestor of yours. It could be someone whose life story has had an impact on you. Someone whose own challenges may offer you some reassurance or inspiration. The first time I did this meditation many years ago, Abraham Lincoln showed up to give me advice. But, don't get ahead of yourself now and start thinking about who you will visit. Let them come to you, and trust that the one that comes is the one that you need to hear from at this time. So let us begin. If you are willing and able, place your feet on the floor and take 3 deep breaths with me. And in your mind's eye, see yourself out walking on a beautiful fall day. Let the beauty of the day settle into you. You see the beautiful colors of the trees, the sky, feel the fresh air. Take your time as you walk slowly down a path. And as you turn a corner, you see a clearing up ahead and hear voices. You stop and look out over the group and notice that there is a bridge between you and them. You see these people talking and milling about with music, fire, food and drink, friendly sounds of conversation. And as you get closer, you recognize some of the people in this gathering. These are ancestors and friends of yours who have died. Some people you knew who were important in your life, others you had only read about or seen pictures of. Some of them may be famous people you have admired. Some may be ancestors who you know only through pictures or stories handed down to you. As you stand and wait, one of them crosses over the bridge and comes and greets you. They are delighted to see you and want to share some wisdom with you to help you through these difficult times. They guide you to a couple of chairs, and you sit and listen to what they have to say. It is time now to say goodbye and return to the realm of the living. Say your farewells. And now, head down the path. And when you are ready, return here to the room with all of us. We will now come together to name our beloved dead. You may choose to name someone you knew during your lifetime, an ancestor who lived before you, a person you did not know but has influenced your life. Each of you should have received a small piece of paper when you came in today. It was tucked inside your order of service. Please use this paper to write down the name of your beloved dead and any appreciation or message that you would like to share with them. If you don't have a piece of paper, there's a table there and a table in the back there, and there's paper and pens. We'll take a minute or so now to write on the cards. So if you need a paper or a pen, please head back to the table, and please stay there when you're finished. Let's take a minute to write our names and messages on the cards. No music. I know that some of you have not had a chance to write on a card yet, but if you hold for a minute, we will begin and you can write on a card and join the line when you're done, okay? So at my signal, and when you are ready, for those who haven't had a chance to write yet, please line up on both sides of the sanctuary. Come down the center. Connor and Courtney will be there to greet you with offering you a candle. And now they're going to demonstrate how we're going to do this. You're going to come down the center, take a candle from either Connor or Courtney, and then you're going to take your card and you're going to place it on one of the trays on the altar. Then you will light your candle from one of the tapers and place the candle on top of the paper. This will be our ritual of honoring our beloved dead with a message and a candle that indicates that their spirit is still alive in our hearts. If you'd like, you may say a quick prayer or blessing as you place the candle. And then we ask you to return to your seat by the center aisle so we leave these sides free for people that are coming around. For folks at home, please feel free to open up your chat box and enter into the name of the beloved dead that you want to honor today and bring into this community. And you will have time to find a candle to light if you haven't been able to do that so far. Let us begin. Can you help? Each of these candles represents someone who was dear to us, someone that we hold in our hearts and in our memory, someone who has touched our lives. While I share a blessing, if you would like to come forward and look at the altar, you are welcome to do so. We honor all those who have passed through the veil, those who have gifted us with blood and body. We bow to those whose acts in life have inspired us. We honor those whom we knew and loved in life, whose memory we carry like a word of comfort. We honor those who have passed long ago, whose names we speak like a word of hope. Or if we know not their names, whose lives honor us still. Now let us pause for a moment in memory, respect, honor, and love for all those who have gone before us. We live and love because you lived and loved. We speak and struggle because you spoke and struggle. You live in us as we will live in those who come after us. Grant us patience, O beloved dead. Grant us courage. Help us to see the long view and remember that what we do affects millions of souls that we will never know.
With the love and memories of those we have celebrated today, let's go forth as life calls us on. Here in reverence now we gather.
As we extinguish our flames, please join me in speaking our shared intention on the slide. May the power of this gathering light our way forward with courage. In the days to come, let us remember that fear is outworked by hope and that hatred is no match for the power of love.
Let's reach out. Reach out to each other, reach out to our community and our world. Reach out. And please repeat after me. May faith in the Spirit of life.
May faith in the Spirit of life.
Hope for the community of earth.
Hope for the community of earth.
And love of the sacred in ourselves and one another.
And love of the sacred in ourselves and one another.
Be ours now and in all the days to come.
Be ours now and in all the days to come.
Blessed be.